Alright, so we reached that time of the year where every car enthusiast is proud of being a car enthusiast, and every movie theater parking lot ends up looking like a car convention. That's right, it's time for a movie review on F9, the Fast Saga. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you haven't done so already, then do yourself a favor and hit that subscribe button so you won't miss out on any movie reviews or any movie news or game news that I like to talk about, or at least stuff that I care about at least. Since this review is a bit early, it will be a spoiler-free review, but then midway I will give a warning and start talking about some spoilers because you just can't talk about this movie without any spoilers. Alright, so we've made it to F9, the 9th installment, 20 years later and one spin-off. Really, we're here. Like, what has the Fast series, saga, whatever you want to call this thing, what has this come to? Alright, so if you saw the trailer, that you pretty much have the basis of the movie. That is the whole movie. Everything else is just stuff that's filled in to make it a 2-hour long movie. All the stunts, all the funny jokes from Tyrese Gibson, all the creative ways that you could possibly blow cars up or blow stuff up and have all the cool cars come out in this movie. Yeah, that's pretty much it. John Cena plays Dom's brother. I mean, like, first of all, I don't know if Vin Diesel is actually of Hispanic descent. I highly doubt it. I've never looked into this since the 20 years that I've been watching these movies. But seriously, like, Hispanics are always depicted in the weirdest way in movies. They always get either non-Hispanics or just either they could be Hispanic, but then there's something completely not related to the race that they're trying to portray. So Vin Diesel, first of all, he's supposedly Dominican. I don't know. I mean, obviously that's what they go for. They show his dad. His dad is obviously Latino. So then just to have John Cena playing the brother, Jacob Torreto, is like, okay, so we're gonna get another white guy to play a Hispanic guy. And let me tell you, John Cena is barely in this movie. Barely! And this movie is 2 hours long. Out of all those 2 hours, I could say maybe 20-25 minutes in this movie. I mean, he's like spread out and he has barely any screen time whenever he's on screen. That's the thing that this movie tends to do. That it's not just Dom that has some other family member that's coming out of nowhere to want to kill him or take over the world. There's another character in this movie who has some sort of relation with somebody else all this time that we had no idea about. Oh yeah, and Han, he's alive. How? We don't know. No, and I'm seriously, we just don't know. Like, the movie literally just gives no explanation whatsoever of how Han is alive. They just make it plain and simple. He just got out of there, or he just wasn't there. This movie also brings back Bow Wow, Sean, and that other Asian dude from Tokyo Drift for like 2 scenes in this movie. And it was so weird for me to see them, especially Sean, the guy who plays Sean, because he was like this country white dude in Tokyo Drift, and then all of a sudden he's like some sort of, all 3 of them, they're all rocket scientists, and which explains why Tyrese and Ludacris are in this car, in this rocket ship looking car. Just the way they're trying to be humorous and the way that their characters are set up, and it's not their fault, but you know, it's whatever they're given, whatever was written. It was so weird because it was not the same tone, it's not the same vibe that they gave off from Tokyo Drift. Like some country guy all of a sudden being smart and into science. Yeah, I don't buy it. Asian guy is actually speaking now, and Bow Wow's just Bow Wow, just with 50 pounds later. It was kind of funny because back then people were joking about, okay, what is the Fast crew gonna do next? Are they gonna be going into space? Are they gonna be doing all these crazy things? And you know, I think the creators found that out, found what the fans were saying, or just non-fans, just people in general, and they were like, you know what? That's a great idea. Let's do that. And that's right, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to space.
Stupid! Use your common sense.
Now, if you live in a ghetto neighborhood and your dream was always to leave the hood, to do something better, to do better things, yeah, this will probably motivate you. Tyrese and Ludacris are in space in this car, in a Pontiac. Any scientific explanation? No, not really. The Fast crew should literally just be part of the MCU. I'm telling you, they are like some sort of Guardians of the Galaxy wannabes, but supposedly in the racing world. Or what it used to be, for that matter. The fact that they do all these things that defy gravity, that just ignore all the laws of just human nature, they might as well just be a band of superheroes. Might as well just throw them into the MCU, because anyone who was once thought dead, yeah, they're not dead. They come back to life somehow. It could easily just be, yeah, you know what, we're from another universe, a multiverse. Oh, and that ending, yeah, let me tell you, the ending no. Yeah, the ending seemed kind of rushed, seemed really cheap. It was not what I was expecting it to be. You usually expect a big fight or something big, like a big throwdown to happen towards the end, but no, that's not the case here. All because they wanted to do something that resembles something that has happened in the previous films, the first one being for that matter. Just going for a nostalgic moment, just for us to be like, oh hey, you know, that's what happened in this movie, how cool. And then the ending scene, I will get to that in just a matter of seconds for my spoiler review. Well, there's nothing really special in a way. There's nothing new. I mean, the only thing new is the stunts. That's the only thing that keeps, you could say, getting refreshed in every movie that comes out. So in the end, I will say F9 should have been a straight to bootleg video because it's not worth paying any reasonable amount of money whatsoever. Alright, so that was my spoiler-free review. If you like this video, go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe for more movie news and reviews. Now it's time for my spoiler review, and let's go ahead and talk about some of the things. Well, some things to point out, not everything. So pretty much the way John Cena's character, Dom's brother, is introduced is because they show a flashback of how they were in the racetrack because their dad was a racetrack driver, and then yeah, he died. Dom ends up going to jail because he beats up the guy who thought that crashed into his dad's car on purpose, and that leaves his brother Jacob alone. And while Dom is in jail, he becomes a street racer. He pretty much becomes what we saw who Dom was in the very beginning in the first film. And the way that Dom discovers of how his father passed away, it's pretty stupid. Like, he just meets the two Dominican guys or whatever these guys are, and they're mechanics, and then Dom's fixing a car, and then the guy's like, whoa, you gotta watch out there because if you leave that open or this certain part, you know, the car can explode. And then Dom's just like, oh, okay, so that's how my dad died, because this thing happened. And who was the last person to be under the hood of the car? Yeah, it was Jacob. So he immediately comes to this conclusion, yeah, you killed dad. So he goes out looking for him, and then he races him because everything in the Fast series, you know, it's decided with a race. And then he tells him, yeah, you know what, if you lose, then you just keep on driving and don't come back. And yeah, he loses. I will say I did like that flashback because it is what the Fast series should be. It was a throwback to what it actually once was, a street racing movie. Once again, we get this reference back to Tokyo Drift because it has to do with Han, and Han is alive, and the explanation literally was there was no explanation. All we have is that he just wasn't there. Mr. Nobody's helped him out. He was talking to Han during the time period of Tokyo Drift, and he had to fake his death in order to protect them. Pretty bummed out that The Rock's not in this movie. Not that he makes it any better, but I mean, he does make it better just for the sake of entertainment. And then the ending scene, everyone is about to have the barbecue, you know, the typical barbecue scene at the end of every movie when they're at the old house and they're about to eat. Family reunion, yay! There's an empty chair, then Dom says, hold on, there's an empty seat. And I believe Mia says, oh, don't worry, he's on his way. And you just hear that car engine getting closer. And next thing you know is that classic blue skyline. And yeah, it's Brian. So I guess they found out a way to bring back Brian's character, because technically in the movie he wasn't declared dead, as you know, as unfortunately Paul Walker is in real life. So it looks like once again, I think it's his brother who is gonna play him. They're just gonna CGI Paul's face into the movie. I'm really wondering what they're gonna say in order to excuse his absence of why he wasn't in the past two movies. So that was it. That was pretty much the only spoilers that are worth even mentioning, because there's nothing else that's interesting in this movie. So if you like this video, go ahead and smash the like button and make yourself a subscriber and comment on anything of this movie. If you've seen F9, what did you think about it? Go ahead and let me know in the comments below. If you haven't seen it, what are your expectations? Who's your favorite character? What's your favorite stunt? What's your favorite story plot of any of these movies? What's your favorite Fast and Furious film? Go ahead and let me know in the comments. And that wraps it up for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next time.